Okay, so for this first tutorial, I have arranged some of the colors on my palette, and I'm going to be doing a combination of some of our newest collections. So here I have Aurora Spark, and this is from the Havana collection. I have Teal Cabrio and Bolero Blue. So that's that one from the Havana collection. Here we have the new gel play, which is Flush, Lilac, and Olive Green. Okay, so these are the colors that I'm going to be working with, as well as some of the other new colors out of our new range. So the first one that I want to show you, I'm going to be using, which one am I going to be using? Not Off, I think I'm going to use Smirk. So this is out of our new Luxio Shades collection. So I just want to use this as my base. I'm going to apply a coat over the entire nail. And then I'm going to pop that in to cure for 30 seconds in our hybrid lamp. Okay, so I've got one coat on, and that's all I'm going to use for now. Or that's all I'm going to. Okay, so we have one coat on that has been cured, not top coated, so it's still tacky. The three brushes that I'm going to use for these tutorials is the number 6, which is the 3D design brush. And then you have your number 3, which is a long liner. And what I've done is I've actually cut it at the base to make it nice and fine. So that's been modified. And then we have the number 2 art liner brush. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to add a bit of colour onto this tacky layer. I have a pad here with Prep and Wipe on it. And then I'm just going to dry my brush in the corner after I've cleaned it. So where I don't have any Prep and Wipe, I just want to make sure it's nice and clean and dry. And then I want to pick up, oops, a little bit of Flush. And I'm just going to dab that on. Clean off my brush, and then I want to pick up a bit of the lilac. And I'm just going to pat that in as well. So basically I'm just creating like a little bit of a shaded, blended effect with just a touch of colour. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of the olive green. I don't want to leave any dollops of colour, so I'm just making sure I tap it really lightly so that I get a nice blend of the colours. And being that it's tacky, this will help blend the colours that little bit better or easier. So there I have a few different colours going through. That's very, very soft. I just want to add, I think, a little bit more Flush just in here. So it's kind of, this design is kind of a really soft and subtle design, but very pretty and effective. I'm just adding in just a smidgen more colour. A little bit too much product there. So I'll dry off my brush, remove the excess, and just add a smidgen more, or blend it in a smidgen more. All right, so I'm going to pop that in and cure that for 30 seconds. Okay, so while that was curing, I've also added a few other elements or media to my palette. So I've got Line It White, Line It Black, and Line It Gold. And we're going to be using them throughout for some of the designs. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the gold, and I just want to add in just a little bit here and there. So I'm just sort of tapping this in. So I'm doing this a little bit slower for the actual video, but if you're doing it in the salon, you can actually get this done super fast. All right, so I'm going to pop that in, cure it again. Okay, and now I'm going to add a coat of matte on over the entire nail. So I'm going to use my line of light just to make sure that I've covered every part of it. Got something stuck in there. So I make sure that my tip is completely covered, and then I'll pop that in and cure it for 30 seconds. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to run my brush through my line it white, and then I'm just going to create a really thin line, and I'm going to kind of just wiggle it around. I'm not looking to do any straight line or anything. And I'm going to create another line that's parallel. So you've got this nice, really soft, subtle design in the background. It's almost like it has that milky effect over the top. And we've just added in the white line, so I'm going to cure that. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with the Aurora. So I want to fill that in between with the Aurora. So I'm just going to lay that on really carefully, with my number 2 brush. I want to make sure I don't go over the lines, and I can come back and tuck them in again once I've got the product down. As this is an Aurora, it is a bit chunkier, so a little bit more thicker in consistency or viscosity. So you got to kind of play with it a little bit more to get it where you want it. Okay, and then just to make sure that I've maintained my lines, which are just soft white lines, really subtle, just going to come back in and clean it up with my number 6, using the point and prep and wipe. And that's it. So I'm going to pop that in and cure it. Okay, so to finish this off, I love the contrast between matte and shiny. So I've just grabbed a little bit of shine on my palette, and I'm going to pick it up with the number 2, and I just want to finish this little sliver of glitter in a high shine. So I'm just coating over the top of that area. Just make sure that it doesn't kind of leak out, which it has just a tiny bit there. and then pop it in to cure it. So that is as easy as that is, and that's done. And there's your finished result. So super easy, super quick, and really pretty. Okay, now for the next one.